Morning guys, it's March the 15th, I'm Henry Green from London Trading Group. I'm going to run through something a little bit different this morning. I thought I'd go through all my weekly charts with you, my weekly majors, just for my expected move for the week as to where I think we're going to go in the major currencies. So I think that this might be a little bit more interesting potentially, and something a bit different. Okay, so this is my weekly chart, as you can see on the right here, and this is my daily. So this is set up on one of my screens, and I just try and map to where I think we can possibly go. So my thought process at the moment with the euro is that yes, we're in a, I think we're in this upwards fib sequence. So I'm looking for this to potentially trade up towards 114.90, but obviously it's got to pull back on the way there. So we've had a nice move up. Where can it find support? So simply, price will trade between the easiest path of support and resistance. And at the moment, the next easiest path is down. So we're looking down at 110.60 and 110.25 as the potential next two levels down. On my weekly chart, this line's quite nicely up with 110, and I've got a little bit lower down at 109.50. So that's this kind of into this zone here, which lines up with this nice counter trend line that I've got in here. So this is just a past market angle, I believe, but as you can see, it lines quite nicely up with here. So maybe we get a test down into this zone, and as you can see, I've marked this out as a potential buy zone for me, and that's what I'm looking for this week. So I'll be looking equivalently to sell it down to here, and then once it gets to here, buy it back up again, and that's my idea for euro dollar at the moment. So combining the fibs with my weekly chart, that's where I think there's a high probability zone of where we could bounce in the euro. So potentially down there between 110 and 109.50. I'm looking for any sort of rejection to then buy that back up again. Okay, cable is really nearly down into my buy zone now. We nearly got there yesterday, so I expected this to sell off, which it did. So had that first move up, and now we've pulled back nearly down to 142. Ideally we get down to 40 or well, between 20 and 40. If we manage to get there, perfect buying opportunity, and I'll certainly be looking to take an initial position should we get down there. So I expect it to reject off here. We are, I think, in this upwards fib sequence now, so I think we've already pulled back to 38. We need this little blip down to then bounce again, and then we could see this trail all the way back up to 145.60 area. So obviously my first target on the way back up is going to be 144 and then 146. So we've got to see whether that lines up with anything, and I'll be mapping that to see whether we get anything from that. But at the moment, I'm looking for a buy area down here towards 140. 142.20 is what I'm looking for in cable. I think that's quite a good zone again, and also it lines nicely up with my daily chart. Dollar yen just in a range. I'm not really interested in this one at the moment. You can't really fib this at the moment. Weekly wise, we had two tweezer tops here, and again, I'm not the biggest fan of these, but what it should suggest is that this trades lower. So it just has drizzled. We had 114 come up yesterday, we blipped through it, and now we're back down at 113.40. So again, play this between support and resistance. Down, my fibs lead me down to 112.20 on the hourly, so I'll be looking to take that down to there should it ever reach there. But certainly it just looks range bound, so just be playing this in the range. No point getting tricked in. As I said, you're 60 pips off the high at the moment, so potentially not going to get the best risk to reward. So maybe wait till it looks like it's going to take out the bottom side of this, and then potentially play the long side. Dollar CAD is a really interesting one as well. I like this to rally up to 133. Where did I say 133.60? I like that as a zone again as well. Everything lines up quite nicely with that. If we manage to get up to 133.60, let me just check on my. I've got exactly the right level there, because I believe that that's the. I'm sure that that's where I said to. Yeah, 133 between the 133.30 and 133.60. I think it's a high probability that we reject in there somewhere, and then we go lower. The fib on the downside on the day is not completed yet, so I think we need a little bit of a pullback. Maybe come back out and test this 8 that we've tested so many times in this move down. It makes sense to go back and test that. At the moment, the 8's at 133.65. So if we get out there today, great selling opportunity. I'd certainly be looking to sell some up there. And then we potentially go lower. On a 60-minute, it looks like we could probably nicely set that up as well. So a few nice things are lining up for that one. I think it has one little push higher, so potentially we see a little bit more Canadian dollar weakness this morning. You see dollar CAD push up, and then maybe we sell off into the afternoon session. So certainly that's what I'm looking for dollar CAD. Aussie's a breakout, so yep, we hit a good level on my weekly chart. So let me just get you the weekly up as well. So there's the date, and here's the week. So yep, I like this as a pullback. Finally, we've hit the D. So what sometimes happens is you get a final last relief rally just to try and push it back up again, and then it fails again. So I'd just be a bit wary of that. But otherwise, it looks like 73.50 is pretty clear for me, and I'll certainly be looking to trade it down to 73.50. A few things line up with that. It's the 38 pullback, and it's the next level down on the weekly chart. So I'm looking for a nice Aussie pullback down to 73.50. I think that makes a lot of sense, and you could easily get that with this one as well. And in the Kiwi, Also, I was shorting this yesterday, took it out at 66.75, so we did close bang at support. We are now below it, so let's just see what happens if it manages to get back up there. Otherwise, this looks short down to the next level, down at 66.20. So there's a bit of space down for this one. 66.20 looks like quite a good zone. You might be able to trade that down to that. I believe on the hourly chart it looked lower than this. Yeah, so we're kind of just halfway between the first swing move down. And certainly 65.70 looks like the next level in the hourlies. I don't know whether it gets there quite as easily as it suggests, but I think that's probably quite a good target for that one as well. So I've mapped my weeklies, guys, and I'll just be looking to trade those this week. As I said, that sets my long-term direction, and I'm not willing to trade anything in, if it doesn't agree with what I've picked out on the weekly charts. But that's my review of the market for this week. I hope that's been useful. As I said, leave any comments you'd like in the boxes below. Click subscribe to never miss another trading video, and I'll speak to you tomorrow. Thanks very much.